Hi and welcome to our next video. If you don't know who we are, please check out our website at www.thenewtwenties.housewife.com.au or watch our introduction video here on YouTube. Now for today's project. If you watched last week's video, you'll know that we've decided the time has come to upgrade Thomas's bedroom from a toddler room to a big boy room. We've decided on a space theme. In the previous video, I created a mood board that included some galaxy curtains. As we're very limited on budget, I decided to make my own. This is a very simple sewing project and anyone can make these rod pocket style curtains. The curtains will mostly remain closed during the day as the afternoon sun is harsh through these windows, and I've made some small modifications to allow the curtains to hang past the wall brackets that were already fitted. This is an optional step. If you want to use the exact brackets and rod that I have here, they are available from Bunnings in the curtain section. Firstly, I measured up the width and length of my window, remembering that most curtains are about 2 to 3 times the width of the actual window to allow for fullness. The fabric I chose was 112 centimeters in width and my window was about 60 centimeters, so I decided that this width would be sufficient for this project. I measured the length from the rail to the floor and then added a little extra to allow for seams and hems. All up, I needed to purchase 2 lots of 2.2 meters, so 4.4 meters in total, because he has 2 windows in his room. This cost me $52.36. Adding this to our running total of $13.96 from last week gives us a new running total of $66.32 for the whole project. I had already started making these curtains before I decided to blog about it, so I've used a mock-up piece to demonstrate the steps. Look out for this symbol to indicate where I've shown the mock-up. To begin, iron your fabric and then cut the 4.4 meter length in half, or cut your fabric to suit your width and length measurements if necessary. Now I'm switching to the old-fashioned imperial measurements here. It's a quirk I picked up from my grandmother when I'm sewing. Fold the seams over 1/2 inch and press. Fold over again 1 inch and press. I did my seams at only 1/2 inch and I found it just didn't sit as well as if it had a thicker seam, so that's why I've decided to go for a 1 inch seam on the mock-up piece. Using the sewing machine foot as a guide, sew about 1/8 of an inch from the inner edge of the side seam. Fold down the top edge of the curtain 1/2 inch and press. Fold down again 2 inches and press. Now the next step is optional. The curtain rail that I have extends past the brackets by about 2 inches on both sides. I would prefer not to see the cheap rail protruding past the curtains, so I wanted the curtains to extend past my brackets. The rail clips into the bracket, so I'm making a gap in the pocket, allowing the rail to attach correctly. If your rail is nicer, or you would prefer the curtains to sit snugly between the brackets, just skip the buttonholes in the next part. Fold the 2 inch section back upwards. Mark the position of the brackets from the edge. Using your machine's buttonhole foot, make a buttonhole large enough for your rail to fit through, starting from just above the crease. Make a second buttonhole for the rod to enter back into the pocket. Fold the 2 inch section back downwards and sew approximately 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the pocket. Once those steps are complete, it should look like this. Hang the curtains to allow the fabric to drop. I left mine up for about a week before I came back to hem the bottoms. Determine when you want the bottom hem to finish. I want these curtains to sit nicely against the carpet. Make sure when you're pinning up your hem that the fabric is straight down, otherwise your hem length will not be right. Gently pull the fabric straight down and then let go so there is no tension on the fabric. Because I want these to touch the ground, I'm using the intersection of my skirting board and carpet as a guide for where to place my pins. Pin all the way along the length of the hem. Remove the curtains. Fold the hem using the pins as a guide and press. Decide on the length of hem that you want for your curtains. I used a 2 inch hem, so I will cut the fabric at 2.5 inches to allow a 1/2 inch turnover. Cut the excess fabric away. Turn down a 1/2 inch and press. Sew along the hem approximately 1/8 of an inch from the top. Hang the curtains back up and that's it, you're done. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along with our journey. Next week, I'll be repurposing our IKEA Trofast unit into a bookshelf. See you then.